Hello, everyone. Welcome to part 2 of 7.3 of National Unification and Diplomatic Tensions. Today, we're going to not talk about these two. These were the two from yesterday. This is Italy's unification with Garibaldi fixing up Victor Emmanuel, and this is Europe, which is France and Great Britain, straining the Russian bear to keep the Ottoman Empire as a buffer state. So, learning objectives are the same, themes are the same, topics. So, we're going to discuss German unification and then the diplomatic tensions that follow. Okay, so German unification time. So, German states are very similar to the Italian states in the sense that they were broken up and they sought to be formed together during the 1848 Springtime of Nations. They were unsuccessful, thanks to Frederick William IV. And similar to the Italian states, they realized they need a central leader to kind of guide them to unify. And so for the German states, that central leader and figure is Otto von Bismarck. And it's really important to understand that he uses realpolitik because he really doesn't care about other people. He really just cares about himself and the unification of Germany. Yeah, he does some tricks. So, he's the Chancellor of Prussia, all right, which is the most powerful state. So just like Cavour was the PM of Sinistra Piedmont, okay? And he was also in charge of the most powerful Italian state. And both what Bismarck and Cavour did was they used reforms to increase their state's economy, and increasing that their economy increased their wealth, which increased their army size. Now Bismarck wanted to unify Germany, and he wasn't sure how, so he figured let's just get into a bunch of wars and let's just bully our way into unification. And so they do it through the Prussian-Danish, Austro-Prussian, and Franco-Prussian. So, first things first, let's fight the Danes. Why would the Danes? Poor Danish people, man. Come on. Alright, so, where is it? Southern Denmark, northern German states. Right here. Alright? The major players were Denmark, Prussia, and Austria. Essentially, this is what happened. There's two German states right here. Remember, there's lots of different German states all throughout. Denmark decides to claim them as their own. And then, to make things even better, Otto von Bismarck's like, you can't just claim them. And then Denmark's like, well, we officially just made a constitution. And they are part of the Denmark Kingdom. So therefore, they are part of Denmark. And that got Otto von Bismarck big mad. He was like, what? And so, he got Austria, and they were very upset because they saw Danish nationalism spreading, and they wanted to have German influence over the German states, not Denmark nationalism spreading. So in order to quell the Danish nationalism, Bismarck got Austria and said, yo, you want to beat up Denmark? And they're like, yep. And so it took 9 months. Denmark versus Austria and Prussia. And Austria-Prussia won. And so there was only two provinces, right? So the two were right here. Boom and boom. And so to seem fair, Prussia and Austria split the provinces. So Schleswig, which is right here, goes to Prussia, and Holstein, which is right here, goes to Austria. Goes to Austria. Everyone's happy, right? So, Austria-Prussia. Now, before anything happens, Bismarck makes some talks to some Russian people and to some British people, and he said, "You guys are staying in your country, right? Because we're going to do some shenanigans, and we really don't want British people and Russian people interfering." And the British people were like, "Yeah, we're done. But after Crimean War, we're done." And Russia was like, "Yeah, Crimean War, we gotta take a break." And so Bismarck's like, "Perfect." Now, Bismarck, once again, only really cares about him and Germany. They don't really care about Austria, even though Austria just helped them out with Denmark. So, Bismarck decided he wants the two states back, the two provinces back. And if you remember, Schleswig went to Prussia and Holstein went to Austria. Makes sense, right? So, he thought, let me just cause a little tiff. Let me cause a little struggle between the two. And that way, the German states will have to pick a side. They'll either have to pick the German side or the Austrian side. That's kind of a bold move. And Bismarck was right. They ended up choosing the German side. And so then they fought about it. It lasted only 7 weeks. All right. And it was kind of quick. All right. Holstein goes back to Prussia. And Austria's like, WTH, man. And now, after this war, we have the northern part of Germany unified. So now all they need left is the southern part of Württemberg and Bavaria and all this area. So how can Bismarck get this area for the German country? Well, let's fight another war. Let's fight against France, because, why not? All right, so Bismarck needs a way to unite the southern part. All right, so he just throws in another war. Now, this is where his manipulation gets top-tiered, okay? So, essentially what happens, Spain has a vacancy in their throne, and they don't know who to put, and a super, super rich royal family in Prussia nominate themselves. Hey, why don't we do it? Now, this isn't Bismarck's doing yet. Now, France freaks the freak out because they did not want to be surrounded by having a Prussian-led Spanish country and then a Prussian-led German country on both of their sides. So France had a quick diplomatic meeting with Prussia. And everything seemed fine. They said, hey, we don't want this, so this is freaking us out. Just don't let the prince be the leader of Spain. And everything seemed good. Then Bismarck took a telegram from that diplomatic meeting. He changed some words up. He edited it, and he made it seem like that the French monarchs were making fun of the Prussian monarchs, and then the Prussian monarchs were saying some bad words to the French people. And then Otto von Bismarck sent the telegram directly to Paris on accident. And then France was so upset by all the insults at that meeting that Napoleon III declared war on Prussia. Pretty crazy. So, we have a war. France had one of the biggest armies in the world, but the new German army with their money and all their new toys were way better organized and were much more efficient. Prussia invades France. Then they take Napoleon III, who's right here, as hostage. And then they go to Paris and they destroy it for like 3 months, 4 months. And France is like, we can't take this anymore. We give up. We sign the treaty. And so France gives in. And so the result is really important. The southern German states see this and see how strong Prussia is, and they're very prideful that they join the northern part and they unify with the rest of the German states. Also, Alsace-Lorraine, which is right here, very fertile, lots of resources, is conceded by France and goes to the German states. And similar to Garibaldi, Bismarck ends up choosing someone else to lead the country. So he decides to lead Kaiser Wilhelm I as the new king. And as a result of this Franco-Prussian War, another result was the balance of power is now shaken up. So you have this giant Russian Empire losing in the Crimean War, right? Now you have Italy forming. Austria is getting beaten up by both Italy and Prussia. So Austria is no longer strong. Britain is being isolationist for the time being. And then France just got walloped by Franco-Prussian War. So the whole balance of power is all shaken up. And now Prussia is the strongest country in Europe at this point in time. So we get diplomatic tensions as the end result. Okay, so now that Germany is a country, Bismarck's next goal is to strengthen it. So just in case anyone tries to attack. So he decides to strengthen Germany through a series of alliances, just in case, mainly because to strengthen Germany and to protect them from an invading attack from France, because he feels like a France attack is inevitable. So the first alliance he forms is between Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Russia, and it's called the Three Emperors League. 1, 2, 3. And it was mainly to control Eastern Europe, which I wish I put a map right here, but it's okay. Especially that Balkans area, because that Balkans area, which is controlled by the Ottoman Empire at the time, is very volatile, very unstable, and it's crazy. And so he thought, Otto von Bismarck, that if he could control that area with 3 superpowers, then it wouldn't be an issue. However, Russia really cared about the Slavic people, and the Austria-Hungary did not care about the Slavic people and cared about the Croats and the Bosnians and all the other different nationalist ethnic groups that comprised of their empire. And so because of that, both those countries could not get along on how they want peace in that area, and the Emperor's League faded away. Okay? Then Prussia makes a deal with, Germany makes a deal with Russia, and it was a secret deal where that if one of them gets attacked, then the other will not join the adversary. So if Germany got attacked, Russia would not attack Germany as well, or if Russia got attacked, Germany would not attack. They would both stay neutral in the fighting. Then Bismarck was also noticing that Russia was having secret text messages. Oh, it's almost 15. Okay, I gotta pause. I'll make a second video.